Wow! I'm ready! When it's time to party, we will party hard.
Welcome to part E of the Boken Boys Gamble Their Rent Away with our lovable mush, Z.
Hi.
And myself, Bones. Part E is ending Eli's era because Daniel Jones legit just ended Eli's era last week. I know he's probably going to get hurt this week, though.
No,
What do you think?
he looked beautiful last week. We're very
Beautiful?
happy. He looked very tall,
Very
light,
kissable.
tall, light, and handsome. Not
sure?
dark. Yeah, I think he was beautiful.
Well, he ran the ball. Eli has, 6 total touchdowns in his career?
Rushing.
Rushing touchdowns, yeah, obviously. He has 2 right
Daniel,
now.
I
In
think
one game, he has 2.
Daniel Jones has more fantasy points than Baker Mayfield does
All year?
all year.
No, he's like 1 or 2 off, right?
He might have one more, actually.
Ooh, lucky. So, yeah, it was a good week for the Giants. It didn't start off good because first half was not great. But, we're going to give up 30 points a game. So he's going to have to do this every week. He might win MVP and Rookie of the Year.
Without Saquon for the next 4 weeks, it's going to be pretty shitty.
Yeah, but when Saquon went down is when he, kind of took over.
Yeah, but in the middle of a game, it's harder for teams to, totally
Adjust.
change their game plan. Now they're going to have a full week of tape on Daniel Jones, fully prepared to just stop Daniel Jones and not have to worry about probably the best running back in the NFL.
Definitely the best running back in the NFL.
But Case Keenum is hurt, and Colt McCoy might not be healthy, and they don't want to play Dwayne Haskins, the Redskins.
Well, because they're terrible. They're starting Eric Flowers. If you're starting Eric Flowers, you're not a good team. That's all it comes down to.
You'll hear more about Eric Flowers later.
Okay. No, but everyone's been talking about fire Gruden. Well, nobody likes.
It's not his fault his team sucks.
Yeah, but he doesn't like Haskins. He doesn't want to play Haskins.
Would you want to play Haskins? Well, especially last week. Would have been really dumb to put Haskins in there with that shit line against the best defense probably in the NFL.
Yeah,
he would have got murdered.
And once the game was over, that's it. Just
let Keenum kill himself for the rest of the game. But Haskins can't go in there facing Khalil Mack in his first start with a shitty line. He'll be David Carr. What was the brother? Derek Carr. David Carr.
David Carr. Derek Carr is
in the NFL.
Yeah. Why did they do that? Why did the parents do that? No, we're just going to go with D's.
They're weird Catholic people.
It's like
Christians,
Leonard Fournette and Leonard Fournette, who was on LSU. And then if you look at everyone's name on LSU, their whole family's names, their father, the mother, and Leonard Fournette's 3 siblings all have L's. L something. Lalette? His father is a junior, but he's not the 3rd. So he must have a different middle name. That's the only way that's possible.
I guess.
You don't have to technically go by it, but if his father's already a junior.
Ken Little, shout out Adam Baker. Ken Little. Inside joke.
So is that the Mormon?
Totally.
That's James Little.
James Little, yeah. It might be James Lytle. I don't know.
No. Light in his feet, Lytle?
Corey Lytle, rest in peace.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. All right, let's go into our picks from last week.
Do we have to?
Unfortunately, yes. This is my week right here. So starting off, Wisconsin murdered them. That was wonderful. They covered everything. I only took 2 bets, the over 43.5 and Wisconsin minus 3.5, and they won by 21. But in game,
I took shit out of Michigan.
I took minus 7.5. I took minus 14.5, I believe, and then I took minus 21. And I pushed that one. So I took 5 total bets on the game and went 4-0-1. Great game.
Michigan laid a late push to try to make it relevant, but they did not.
So I'm doing betting points now. I have 2 points for that game. Bet on the over. Bet on the, what's it called? The actual team to win that I picked.
Okay.
2 points.
Yeah, you made those picks before the pod, right?
What?
Those picks?
The 3 and not those 4-0-1. No, the minus 3.5 and over 43.5.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes. If you're looking at my notes, you could see that on the NCAA/NFL show.
I'm not looking at your notes.
Dick. Next up is my Notre Dame at Georgia. I don't know. Georgia, I thought they were going to lose. I'm like, oh, this was the game. I said they historically like to lose one bad game a year, like where they should win.
Georgia.
And
Yeah, but usually it's like Alabama.
No. It's more like a team like, oh, they're definitely going to beat this team, and then they lose to that team. That's not a game they should win, the Alabama game. They should lose that game. So when they lose, it's not a big shock. It's these types of games when they're on their way to like a almost undefeated season. But they won, just didn't cover the spread or the over, so minus 2 points on that one. Notre Dame at minus 14. They only beat them by 6, and over 58, and they only scored 44 total points for the game.
Same thing. Notre Dame. Well, Notre Dame made it close at the end. They were up. They were down 13. They
Correct.
Made it,
that still wouldn't cover the 14.
Yeah, that's true.
Great. And then my Big 12 bet. Oh,
TCU.
TCU lost that. But the over covered it in the first half almost, I believe.
Yeah, they lost by 3.
41-38. TCU in the first half had, I think, 5 turnovers. They had a turnover on their own 1 or 2 yard line. They just wanted to lose the game. They would be like driving.
Are they home?
It was at TCU, the 99th Iron Skillet game.
Gross.
Yep. And SMU took advantage of that because they had a great offense and just scored. And TCU did score a lot, too. I mean, they covered the spread by 30, I want to say.
The over-under.
The over-under spread, yeah. So I went +1 on that.
Nice.
Or even 1 and 1. I'll say +1.
Whatever you want to do.
One
and 1 means 0.
0. Yeah. It's 0. Because I'm even for the week.
You're really good with these whole
something didn't add up
numbers things.
And then next, ACC. Fuck. I won. Q's -6 at home against Western Michigan. They won by 20. I should have bet that game in game 7 times. I got to just watch these games. They're like, the spread's way too low.
Q's came back from the dead.
Well, I mean, Jerry McNamara, he was on the sidelines. That's why.
Ultimate winner.
Yeah.
Jerry!
All he did. He came in and threw a few balls, too. And who was the player, point guard for Duke, that had a year of eligibility left and went and played quarterback for Syracuse? Greg Paulus. I think that was the year
they were good. That was the last time they were good before
That's when
this
they beat
most
Clemson
recent
at home.
run.
That's when they beat Clemson.
It was probably like 6-7 years ago.
4 years ago.
Sure. It wasn't when they were good in this last iteration. Syracuse made a run for the last few years. It was not during this few years.
You're right.
It was in the last iteration.
Correct.
Because Paulus hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah.
He's been on, I think, the Duke bench for like 3 years.
Time, I don't know what time is anymore.
Time and space.
And then Hot Mom.
B.Y. Joe?
She did me dirty. She did me real dirty.
I wouldn't mind that.
Lisa Wilson did me dirty. I guess Washington's very good because they beat them by like 20 or 30.
Washington.
Yeah. So they did not cover the spread. I didn't bet on any overs in that.
Not to be confused with Washington State, who blew a 32-point third-quarter lead and lost 67-63 to UCLA.
Have you heard Mike Leach speak? He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets anything across to his players. That's really what it comes down to.
I love that guy.
All right. Well, you want to go into your picks? Your picks from last week?
Sure.
Okay.
Don't know if I was supposed to whammy. Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Well, they've examined my life and gambling advice to you, and they've determined it's not worth following. Last week, we went 1-5 for minus 5.5 units. I'm a defeated man. I'd say it would be a bounce-back week, but I don't have any faith in that at all. Our almost heaven lock of the week was the lone bright spot for us as the L.A. Rams, despite a skittish start, went into Cleveland, left a steamy dump on their doorstep, and then went back to California, plus 2.5 units on that one. And then it all went downhill. Our parlay of the week was a loss of 1 unit as we took the Cowboys, Pats, Vikings, Buccaneers, and Seahawks, parlayed via the money line. Matt Gay decided he wanted to smooch Daniel Jones after the game, so he pulled out of making the last-second winning field goal. And Russell Wilson is a bitch.
Or an awesome player.
No, he's a bitch.
He's statistically the best player since he came into quarterback since he started in the NFL.
Yeah, but he can't win anymore. They're 2-1. They haven't covered a goddamn spread.
So he can't beat the spread, but he wins games.
Well, I'm off Russell Wilson. Totally off him. He's a bitch.
Okay.
Our thick pick of the week was 2 units on Tampa Bay and Green Bay tees down. Aaron Rodgers continued his streak of covering up things in his life. But again, Matt Gay, for the first time in his life, couldn't slide in the back door. Our cuck of the week was 2 units on Arizona at home against a quarterback named Kyle fucking Allen.
Stud.
Kyle fucking Allen.
Kyle Federico?
Fuck Kyle Federico.
So Kyles are just not your favorite.
Kyle Federico is for another day. Fuck him and fuck Kyle Allen. Whatever, I lost that one. Our Christian Kirk player prop. Do I have to keep going? Mason Rudolph, over 255 passing yards. Yeah. Please, I do need to be rescued. I'm a fucking mush. All right, we're done. Our Guma of the week was 1 unit on Seattle, -4.5, and whatever.
So what was your record? I went through all of mine and my bad decisions.
1 in 5, -5.5 units.
Wow. I was even.
Great. I'm trending downwards. You're trending
even
upwards.
2 weeks of even, but I didn't technically go. Well, I guess I did. I went even.
I was fucking terrible.
Yeah, you were bad.
I was only 5.5 units because I put 3 units on the Rams, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have been even worse.
Yeah. Well, the Rams was the lock. That was your lock. That should have been your lock.
I'm 1-1 on my locks of the year.
Yeah, I'm terrible. My locks of the year are totally off. Just nowhere close. But I like to pick fun ones.
I've only picked LA-based teams for my lock so far. Tune in later to see if I change my mind on that.
Interesting.
I do. I do.
All right. Well,
I love orange soda.
Should we go into the actual picks this week?
Go for it, baby.
Can I get a whammy, or you're just gonna, do your own thing? Wait for your NFL segment.
Shit.
Yeah. You don't know.
No, the volume.
Because your segment's set up. You're like, I don't care what he's gonna say. This is it.
I lowered the volume on the whammy for the boys to men to play in the background. You know I'm not good with audio. Hold on. One more time.
Okay, thanks.
Now we're good.
Can you hear the song?
Oh, there they are.
So that was the Scorpions. Tease me, please me.
Tease me, please me.
Do you want to know why it's tease me, please me?
Are you going to do a teaser?
It's week 5, teaser week.
I love it.
We're doing every single game.
You're exotic today.
I have teased. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Definitely a good thing.
Because I took some ridiculous ones that I probably shouldn't have.
I'm looking at them right now, Bonesy.
So we're going to start off with the Big Ten.
I see you moving the keyboard around.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So I love to hate myself, just like most Northeast guys. So I'm going to take Wisconsin again this week in week 2 of Wisconsin football. I fucking hate everything about them, but they're going to have maybe the best running back in school history in Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor Thomas?
Rondane he won't get there because he has 7,100 yards rushing in 4 years.
You're a monster.
That was insane. And then had one Thunder and Lightning year, and then that was it in the NFL because he wasted it all there.
He wasn't part of Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was Thunder and Lightning.
It was Tiki and Rondé.
Who was Earth? We had an Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, maybe he was. That was Thunder and Lightning.
Oh no, it was Ahmad Bradshaw, Brandon Jacobs, and Ward.
Yeah,
we had a guy named Ward or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the Thundering Herd. Marshall. We are Marshall.
We are.
Sorry, Bob. So he's going to break the number 2 record, most likely, if he stays healthy, in 3 years, which Monty Ball did in 4, or number 2 record, sorry, of 5,100 rushing yards.
He's definitely coming out.
Yeah. So that's it. He's going to be number 2 in Wisconsin history, which they have, they're riddled with, fucking awesome running backs.
Big white lineman and
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin
Gordon's number 3, so he's going to jump Gordon and Monty Ball. So they are playing Northwestern at home. They just murdered Michigan, and Michigan sucks.
In the big house.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan just sucks. Northwestern kind of hates Wisconsin, but everyone does. Who couldn't agree
It's not
with
a
that?
true rivalry like others are.
So they're 24-point favorites, Wisconsin. I'm going to tease them down to 17.5.
I like that.
And then
this is the part I don't know if I agree with you with.
What? I'm taking the over.
Teasing the over, yeah.
I'm not teasing the over.
Yeah.
No, it's a tease week, not full tease week. I think the over 45.5 is totally fine. I think it's totally fine.
Okay.
Wisconsin, again, may beat the over on their own.
Northwestern won the Big Ten West last year. Just saying. They were pretty good.
Have you seen Wisconsin's linemen? They all have knee braces on this year. They're good. And I'm almost positive.
I think it's for a shitty game.
Prereq that if you go to Wisconsin and you're a starting offensive lineman, you have to have knee braces on. It doesn't matter if you're hurt or not, you have to wear the knee braces. It's like a thing. That is their thing. I've never seen them without them. I just don't get. I don't know if it's like an injury risk thing where they're like, oh, we don't want you to get hurt. You're too good.
Fashion accessory.
I just don't get it. I've never seen an offensive lineman in Wisconsin without a knee brace on.
Fashion accessory. Preemptive injury reduction. You don't think it's going to be a letdown game for them after the big win, the big house, and now they're like,
no, that wasn't a big win for them. They respected.
They went into the big house and beat the shit out of them. That's an emotional high, and now they're playing Northwestern, an emotional low.
It's not an emotional low.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I want you to.
I hate them, but
I want you to win.
Number 2, Pac-12. I love Arizona State. They're playing Cal.
The only undefeated team left in the Pac-12.
They're not undefeated. Cal. Well, maybe in the Pac-12.
No, Cal's undefeated. They're the only one left.
Cal is, yes.
Yeah.
Arizona is not. Listen to Herm Edwards' coaching staff, and I've only got 3 on here.
Okay.
Marvin Lewis, special advisor. Antonio Pierce, assistant coach for the linebackers. And Kevin Mawai, football analyst, which I don't know what that means, but I love all of them.
Can Antonio Pierce walk, or is he so fat that he requires a wheelchair?
No, he's an assistant coach. He makes sure none of the players bring guns, or he hides his guns for them. He hides their guns for him. That's what AP does.
He didn't do that well in the NFL.
Really? I think he
was on the Plexico team.
He was, but he was very good. He was very good.
Yeah, and then
once he did that, but then he was done.
Yeah, because he became like 400 pounds and ate himself out of the league. Like, immediately.
Yeah, he really did. Man, I remember that? God damn it. And we haven't had a linebacker since Antonio Pierce. Since 2007, we have not had a good linebacker.
We played like Zach Diossi for 30 years, who's a special teams player.
Man, I don't get it. Anyway, tease week, 4.5. I'm going to tease it up to 10.5.
Dig it.
And then the over is 40.5. Arizona has a good defense. I'm going to tease it down to 34.5. Let's go Devils.
All right.
What's up next? Oh, the Big 12. Ooh. Who's going to win Heisman this year?
Probably Sean Burrow's son over at LSU.
No.
Yeah. That's my money. Or maybe Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
JTT. Maybe Sean Burrow's kid.
Not Jalen Hurts.
Nah, they can't give it to an Oklahoma State quarterback 3 years in a row.
Quick update. No, they can't. They will.
Never happened before.
Well, there's always a first, right? First time for everything. Would you like a quick update in his stats?
I would love it.
So he didn't play last week, but he has 1,253 total yards and 11 total touchdowns, along with 79.9% completion percentage. God damn it, couldn't complete an 11-yard pass at the end of the game to score a touchdown and give me my plus 750 ridiculous fucking bet I made. I think he's going to win it, man, because he doesn't play any defenses. So they're 27-point favorites. This is when I made it teaser week, is because I want to bet Oklahoma because I don't want to bet anyone else in the Big 12. And 27 seems like a lot Texas Tech can score.
It's a lot of points.
So I'm going to tease them down to 21. Oklahoma minus 21. And the over-under is 72.5. Ridiculous. Which I could easily happen. Like, very easily could happen, but I can't bet a 70. I can't bet an over. I don't want to bet an under, and I can't bet an over on a 72-point spread. So I'm going to take the over 64.5.
I love your math.
What?
72.5 minus 6 is 66.5.
You're right. My math is incorrect. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired.
That's fine.
I did this 10 minutes ago.
Go ahead.
66.5.
I think it'll cover the regular spread. I think you're going to be safe.
No.
72.5. Both Oklahoma's
I want to bet the under
sucks.
on the regular spread, but the under on the regular spread, the problem is the first.
Oklahoma's defense sucks.
No, they don't.
And their offense is incredible. This is going to be a track meet like every other Oklahoma game. They'll end up giving up at least 28 to 35. And that's already more than halfway there. If they give up 35,
Yeah, we won.
They cover you.
Then I won.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Unless Jalen Hurts gets hurt. Then we're fucked. What's last? Oh, here we go. ACC, but the boringest fucking conference in football.
Mm-hmm.
Big game, though. Virginia at Notre Dame. They're 4-0, Virginia.
Huge game for Notre Dame to bounce back and show that they are actually good.
Well, I hate Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame because people expect me to like Notre Dame because
you're
I'm
Irish.
It's fucking stupid. I hate Notre Dame. I hate everything about them. But I also hate the ACC. But I hate that Notre Dame's independent.
They got to
Virginia.
They got to run the table if they want to make the playoff. Notre Dame. They can't
correct.
lose. They can't lose.
Well, Virginia's 12.5-point underdogs, and they're undefeated at 4-0. They are going to France, right? That's where they play. They play in France, Notre Dame. That's why they're independent. Yeah. South Bend.
It's lovely there. Just don't go up on a what was that thing the kid died on?
North Bend? No, so I'm going to tease Virginia 18.5. I think they cover that. They're not going to not cover that. That'd be crazy if they didn't. Virginia beat Pitt pretty handily. They beat Florida State, which isn't, I guess, a big win because Florida State kind of stinks, but they're still 4-0.
Pitt national champs. They beat the national champs last week, Pittsburgh.
And I'm going to take... They did.
Beat the national champs, UCF.
Yep. They should be the national champ. They beat them handily. They were 11-point underdogs, and they won right from the beginning. That's also coming off a Penn State game they should have won or could have won. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to take the over straight at 48.5. Over 48.5. Because I think they cover this. Because Virginia has a running quarterback that I think he's kind of a running quarterback. But they score a lot of touchdowns. And it is now time. If I could do this correctly.
Is it your blow time?
It's now time for my blow. I had to cut out your clips. Well, it's time for my lock of the week, Bones lock of the week, my blow. What are you screaming about, though?
Melvin Gordon ended his holdout.
Melvin's back?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you screaming? Fuck, you have him. You didn't just trade him, did you?
No, but I have Eckler, and I would just like if Eckler just stayed as the only guy.
That's unfortunate for you. He's going to catch a lot of passes, though. He'll still get you a bunch of points.
Can't start two running backs on the same team.
Melvin Gordon ended his holdout quickly. Eckler was doing way too well.
Yep, pretty much.
And Melvin Gordon hasn't made enough money in his career to really hold out.
Yeah, and he needed to come back
before
at some point.
Yeah. Before week 6, right?
Week 10. He needed 6 games, I think it was. He needed to play 6 weeks.
Yeah. If they just sit him, though, if they're like, fuck you, we'll play you 5 weeks and then not the last week.
I doubt he'll play this weekend. I think they'll let him play the week after.
I think he has to come back before Wednesday for him to be able to play.
Friday. He's just got to practice.
So if he practices, he can play.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to have him active for this weekend.
Right.
Sorry, go to your blow.
Anyway,
I apologize.
It's okay. That made me happy. We were just talking about Melvin Gordon, literally 2 minutes ago.
I know.
So going into my blue.
Mervin.
SEC not taking Alabama. Don't worry. Kentucky at South Carolina. Interesting one.
It's an interesting pick.
Yeah. South Carolina is not good at all. They just got blown the fuck out by Mizzou. Murdered by Mizzou. Kentucky isn't that bad. They have a good defense. And, everyone's like, oh, Kentucky's quarterback may not be playing, and they're going to go into Wildcat offense. I still think, since it's teaser week, that if I tease them up plus 6.5, they will cover this. The Wildcats are going to make the Gamecocks look more like lame socks.
Whoa, Boatsy!
So that's my blow this week, which my blow has been absolutely terrible, so don't trust me on anything I say about my lock of the week. Don't ever trust me. Go
Don't
Kentucky.
Trust a hoe.
And I didn't bet the over-under on this because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Don't trust a hoe.
Right. Are we ready for the NFL?
Sure.
I'll turn my headphones down. Should I turn my headphones down now? Okay, I'm ready.
I got to get the sound a little up just so I know it's in the proper place. I think we're good. I hope we're good. The Distinguished guests, gather around, hush your mouths, and open your ear holes. Hey, Bones, have you seen the movie Rounders?
Yes.
Well, this week you're going to call me Mikey McDermott because this season all we've done is check, check, check. But this week you're going to pay this man that money.
Pay him his money.
I have alligator blood. I will splash the pot whenever the fuck I please. He's not me. All you have to do is listen up for the often talked about, always hyped.
How do you call that?
But best faded. 6 picks from the 6th borough from me. Z, follow me to bankruptcy. First up, we have our almost heaven lock of the week.
I never felt so beautiful, baby, as I do now that I'm with you.
Brett Favre may be a Southern boy with his Levi's on, and an open fly, but Jessica Simpson's true inspiration for that song was Pat Mahomes. We're taking the Chiefs -6 on the road in Detroit because with Mahomes, you can lay your bet down. No dollar amount is crazy because Kelsey will catch the ball right before it hits the ground with nothing but his number 15 jersey on. I never felt so confident, baby, as I do now that I bet on Mahomes. I didn't even start singing yet. We're going with 4 units. Four big units on the almost heaven lock of the week. Chiefs -6. 4 units. Nothing?
No. That was a terrible rendition.
Yeah, that was an abortion.
Yeah, that was real bad.
I got to make it. I'll make it up later with Danny Dimes.
Okay.
All right. Next up, our weekly teaser, a.k.a. the thick pick of the week, because a little extra never hurt.
Then the next strand, better than the next strand. She head down, booty popping in the handstand.
We are taking a teaser here, as usual. The Cardinals and Seahawks down to 41. The Steelers and the Bengals down to 37.5. Rationality would say, hey, Chris, the Seahawks have burned you in back-to-back weeks.
Tease week, though.
Rationality would say, hey, Chris, Mason Rudolph was dreadful last week, despite you proclaiming him the second coming of Christ. Rationality would also say, Chris, do you really need that 4th slice of pizza after 8 mozzarella sticks, an order of cheese fries, and 7 garlic knots? We're not rational people, Bones.
Wait a minute. You're always supposed to eat pizza's made for 2 people. 4 slices for you, 4 for
slices.
me.
See?
4 for you, 4 for me.
This is why I love you.
Yeah, logic. Come on.
1 unit on the thick pick of the week. Cardinals, Seahawks down to 41. Steelers, Bengals down to 37.5. Both the overs. 1 unit. Our parlay of the week, aptly named the Owl because one will lose. Here's my rendition of Angel of Mine called Danny Dimes. When we first drafted you, there were many boos. But Gettleman saw something inside of you. Strong on 4'8", standing at 6'5". Danny Dimes. Eli looked at you, mouth all droopy. Now if only we could fix our shitty D. Gonna protect you, Flowers is off the line. Danny Dimes. We're taking the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Colts all on the money line. Add them up, plus 180.
It's one hell of a tease.
That's my parlay of the week, all money line.
Parlay.
What'd you think of Danny Dimes' Angel of Mine?
It was decent. It was good. I liked it.
We're going 1 unit on that Owl because I said 2, plus 180. Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, Colts. Go ahead. Anything?
No, nothing. Continue.
Next up, our underdog of the week, a.k.a. our cuck of the week.
You tell me if these people are having sex.
Yeah.
See how he says yes? We're taking Gardner Minshew, too, because if he's involved, they are definitely having sex. We are taking the Jaguars plus 156 on the road in Mile High in Denver. Fun fact, Gardner Minshew 2 joined the Mile High Club when he was 9. Gardner Minshew 2 is the guy you read about who banged his hot teacher. Nice. Gardner Minshew 2 impregnated your girlfriend by just making eye contact. Gardner Minshew 2 banged Eve and is the reason for original sin. We're going 2 units on our cuck of the week. Jaguars plus 156. 2 units. Next up, our CKPP of the week, Christian Kirk, player prop.
So this is my bad comeback song.
Redemption is spelled M-A-S-O-N. That's right. After a very slow first half last week, Mason Rudolph channeled his inner Happy Gilmore because Mason learned how to pass. We are taking his over yards. It's a shoo-in. Cincy's D is awful.
We don't know what his over yards is.
It'll be probably 240. It's too early in the week. James Washington's finally going to go off, and there will be no separation of church and state with Washington and Rudolph. No taxation without representation. Mason learned how to pass. 1 unit on our CKPP. Mason Rudolph over passing yards.
I don't agree with it. Can I tell you why? Because he learned how to pass in the first game when he had to come in, like right away.
They weren't game planned for him.
Game plan for what? He's the same quarterback.
Oh, he's the backup. He was a little, whatever. No nerves.
It's actually easier to get to him. That's the only difference. It's easier to tackle him.
First start, he was nervous.
Their game plan should have worked because they can get to Mason Rudolph.
They played an undefeated team. They're playing next week a shitty 0-3 Bengals team.
He's 0 for 1.5. I'll give him 0 for 1.5.
He's going to dominate next week.
I don't know.
Next up, and last but not least, I should say, the pick we like second best, my Guma of the week.
We're gonna get weird all night. I said now let's get weird all night.
We're going to get a little weird with this one. It's a 9-team, $1, 4-team combo round robin.
Oh, you're doing a round robin.
The Texans, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Colts, the Rams, the Jaguars, the Vikings, and the Cowboys. If you're new to gambling, I could try and explain to you how this works.
No, you can't. It's so impossible.
You'll never understand. So just pretend you're Helen Keller and follow me as if you were deaf, dumb, and blind into a gambling odyssey filled with wonder and intrigue. If you get frisky and want to play $2 on this, well, maybe you should channel your inner Anne Frank because you'll be playing a dangerous game of hide and seek with your Nazi bookie if this goes south. We're going $1 round robin on our Guma of the week, $126 total, 9 teams, 4-team combos, Texans, Ravens, Chiefs, Chargers, Colts, Rams, Jaguars, Vikings, Cowboys. Those are my 6 picks from the 6-borough Bonesy, and I hope they make you as financially unstable as I am.
Quick thing. Why wasn't your cuck of the week Melvin Gordon Austin Eckler? Melvin Gordon over rushing.
You know that I can't just adapt on the fly. It has to be scripted.
Yeah, I know. Yes. All right, Ron Burgundy. Let's
And now joining us for our brand new segment, it's going to be a guest pick of the week. I couldn't think of a more handsome, wise, intelligent, sexy, and sweet man to do it than Mr. Bob Talbot, young Talbot. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Love the enthusiasm. First time, long time. Excited to participate.
As usual, you're bringing the heat and intensity in the voice, and I love it.
You know me.
So what do you have for us today, Bob? No pressure. You're the first person to be on the show besides me and Bones, so no pressure at all.
All right. Well, hopefully I can live up to your performance last week, but I'm going to follow some gambling advice that I've heard over the years that says that you should bet with your head and not with your heart.
I don't like that advice.
I know. I don't think either of you are going to like this pick very much, but I'm actually going to take the Redskins to beat the Giants.
I don't hate it.
And I'm going to take the points. Redskins +3 over the Giants.
I don't hate it.
Wow.
I can tell you why I don't hate it. Giants defense is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in Giants history. I know we have a bet on them, but they're fucking bad. They're bad. They're really bad.
You got to explain yourself, Bob, because I don't like this.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, I couldn't hear what Bones was saying, but apologize if I repeat.
That's because Chris has a shitty phone.
It's all good. So obviously, the Giants opened up -2, which is just like a totally disrespectful line for a home team, especially against an 0-3 team. But from what I've learned over the years, if Vegas is begging you to take a team, you should probably go ahead and take the opposite. So as sexy as Giants look -2 with Daniel Jones getting all the hype this week, I just don't feel like it's the sharp play here. And the Giants secondary is so bad. I don't think they deserve to be a 3-point favorite against anyone. They're not going to generate a pass rush like the Bears could. And even with Daniel Jones scoring 4 TDs last week, it was great. They were still like a chip shot field goal away from losing that. So I'm not saying they necessarily lose the game.
Win to win, Bob.
I think in an era with missed extra points and whatnot, I think they at least cover that 3-point spread. Hopefully the Giants come up with the victory, though.
I think Daniel Jones, and after this podcast comes out, you can listen to Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, a.k.a. Angel of Mine remix. You're going to change your tune because he is going to light the world on fire. Daniel is better than Samuel. He is better than Josh Allen. He's the best quarterback in New York. He's the best quarterback in the division. Way better than that yak Dick Prescott. Daniel Jones, baby. Bob, I really hope you're wrong.
Can you just
Me too. Well, I still think we could win. And can I give you like a bonus prop?
I love it.
I think is a nice little hedge.
I love it. Let's go.
I don't think the line's out yet, but whatever the over-under for Evan Ingram catches and yards, I would take the over.
Oh, yeah. That's his guy. That's his guy.
Yeah, they'll be coming out usually on Friday afternoon, early Saturday. They come out with those.
I don't care.
I agree with that. I could jump on board with that.
Yeah, I don't care if it's 10.5 catches. Landon Collins matched up against Evan Ingram. He's going to absolutely abuse him. And I think there's a nice opportunity to hedge that Redskins bet there and possibly win them both, even with a Giants victory on top of that.
Remember, we get to run through Eric Flowers.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Eric Flowers.
We get to just plow
left
through
guard on the Redskins, I believe.
We should have two guys going at him.
Revenge games all over.
We should have two guys going at him the entire game.
Landon Collins is going to get thrown out in the first quarter for like a illegal hit to the head or something. I just feel
I wouldn't be shy. They should throw a Gettleman on the sideline and see if he just tries to take him out.
All right. Well, Bob, thank you very much for joining us for our first ever segment of Guest Pick with the Young Talbot. We will report back next week and inform the audience, hopefully, of Bob being wrong because of our Giants fandom. But I hope you're right as your friend.
I appreciate it.
All right. Love you, Bob.
Good luck this weekend. Love you too.
Thank you.
Bye, Bob.
Yeah. Bye.
There it is. First ever guest pick. We'll see how he does. If he goes 1-0, we're just going to have to make someone make a pick that's wrong so that they can't be better than us.
Well, I mean, he only had one pick. He has to pick 4 more or 5 more times.
Yeah, but we can't have the guest pick percentage be better than us.
It's tease week, too. He didn't even tease the game. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, I didn't get the memo it was tease week.
Well, week 5 is tease week in the NFL because it was week 5 in college football.
Thanks.
Well, this is week 4 in the NFL. So week 5, you have to tease everything. Anything you do, you tease. Except for, I guess, CKPP, which I don't think you can tease player props.
You cannot. They're not even out yet.
No, but whatever it is, you have to tease it.
True.
You have to fake tease it. All right,
that was good. Let's hopefully... Well, you are trending again into the positive direction.
No, I'm just medium. I'm nothing.
Well,
I'm even.
You're not going down.
I'm literally even 2 weeks in a row. I'm 0-0.
That's better than losing
0-0.
Or going worse.
It's not better than losing.
It's better than
losing money.
Better than 1-5.
Well, honestly, I bet in game. I wish we could just do this live, which we can.
We could
during college football because my live in-game bets have been wonderful. That Wisconsin game, I won a ton of money on.
If it wasn't for in-game betting, I would have been awful last week because the Rams saved me as I bet them at halftime. Thank God.
Yeah.
Emptied the account into the Rams at halftime.
Was last week the one where you had that major parlay? Was that the week before, the $1,400 one? Or the one that
the
you
first half? Yeah. The Seahawks missed the field goal.
Well, that was like a 60-yard field goal.
Well, they had the ball on the 35-yard line with 40 seconds left, 1st and 10. Completed 3 passes and went backwards 7 yards. Yeah.
And then what happened? Great second half.
Then he missed a field goal.
Well, then what happened in the second half? Do you know Kyle Federico is their starting kicker now?
Honestly, it felt like he was. I didn't feel like he had any chance of banging the 58-yarder, but it would have been a $1,400 field goal. I lost my mind briefly there for a little while.
Yeah.
Fucking Kyle Federico.
That sucks. No, it was, because they would have tied. They would have pushed that.
I would have went down to like $700-800 probably.
Still nice.
Still would have been beautiful.
But they were driving.
40 seconds left on the 35-yard line. They could have scored a touchdown in that scenario.
I was pooping, and
Yes,
I just hear you screaming for like 5 to 10 minutes, just yelling at the TV, like, I'm going to hit this! I'm going to do it!
I thought I was. And then they had like an offensive pass interference, an offensive holding, and 3 complete passes sprinkled in.
What would you have played at the casino on DraftKings Sportsbook once you won that 14?
Right to the 3-card poker table. Right to the live dealer.
$20.
Yeah.
$20.
And I would have
lost at least $500 of it.
$1,000 right away. Just right away would have been $1,000 would have been gone, out, done.
Be like, still up 400. It's a positive day.
It's a win.
All right, let's end this.
God bless. Oh shit.
God, the computer Chris.
Yo, this is gonna be really. Hold on.
Computer Chris is terrible.
Here we go.
Computer Chris. He doesn't know what he's doing on the computer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's unplugged his computer. He couldn't figure it out. This guy. This
is why we need a producer, because I'm a fucking moron. Here we go.
My friends.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.